All right, Tony, how you doing over there, buddy? You gonna say hi? Nothing? You gonna say nothing? You know, just do
I ain't
this?
saying shit.
All right. Then we got my good friend over there, John Paul. How you doing, there, buddy?
I'm good, man. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. Then we got my good friend over there, David. How you doing over there, buddy?
Good. I wouldn't even wipe my ass with the shirt you're wearing.
We're Ed.
Ooh,
Okay?
shots fired.
I don't care what this guy got to say, okay?
David's become real belligerent since me and Tony have been on. A couple weeks back, he turned around. He goes, "Let's get to the fucking picks." Now today, he's talking about his ass. I mean, that my minute.
He's getting defective hanging out with y'all. He's been all right. But let's first. I know let's talk about. I know we've been a week late, but let's first talk about these two games. Then we can go into the Super Bowl. Let's talk about the Lions and the Niners game. The Lions choked the 24-point lead. Dan Campbell, you're an idiot. No offense. I don't like calling people idiot, but you really, I don't know. If I was the owner of the team, I would have tossed you off the team. I would not let you fly. You cost our team the win because you wanted to go for it instead of kicking the easy point.
You would fire Dan Campbell for a call when he brought you to the NFC. You would be one hell of a GM.
2 field goals. Yes, I would have done it. I would have done it. You cost my team a Super Bowl game because you think it was good to go for it twice.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing.
2 times in a row, you're stupid.
Go ahead, Tony. You go first.
Here's the thing. The reason why they made it that far is because of the calls Dan Campbell's made all season long. He's done those calls all season long.
But it cost them twice, though. They lost the second seed, a chance of getting the second seed, and then they lost that game last night.
No, the refs cost them the second seed.
No, they wanted to go for – you should have kicked the field goal at the second shot.
It doesn't matter. The refs cost them the 2 seed.
Oh, okay. Oh, my God.
But what would that matter anyway? They made it to the NFC Championship game anyway.
And they shot themselves in their own foot. That's what I'm going to say.
I think they played very well. I mean, listen, man, it's the NFC Championship game, man. You go all for broke. I applaud him for doing it because, listen, you say it now that it's stupid that he went for it, but you think about it. If he would have gotten those, they would have the 49ers would have been lost in the water. They would have lost that game by 2 touchdowns.
I'm not gonna lie, I hated to see a team lose that game. That was such a good game, the Lions, and I actually
that was an excellent game to watch.
I didn't want either team to lose, to be honest with you. It was such a hard one.
How Kansas City kicks the Niners' ass.
What?
Yes, I hate the Niners. I hate them.
We let I'm gonna bring up the play that changed the game. And listen, was it a good play? Yeah, absolutely. Did the ref pick up the flag incorrectly? Absolutely. The play where it came off the defender's hand and Ayuk caught the ball, Ayuk pushed off. That's what the flag was for. I don't know why they picked it up. It was offensive pass interference. That changed the complexity of the game.
We know who David picked in the Super Bowl is going to be Kansas City because he got a Kansas City hat on today.
No, the only reason I put this on because I wanted to wear it. But last thing about the game, props to the Lions. They played their butts off.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that was a very exciting game. That might have been the best game of the playoffs.
Yeah,
honestly, that was a really good game, and they're young too.
And thank God, I'm not a Detroit Lions fan. I mean, I think I might have gotten my gun and murdered everybody in the house.
I mean, I would listen. If I was the owner, I would have said to coach, because it's hard.
If you would have done that, let me explain to you what happens if you would have done that. You would have had to pay him for the remainder of his contract, right? All that money that came out of your pocket. You know how many teams would trade for Dan Campbell to be their head coach right now? Go ahead, fire him. I'm the Giants fan. I'll take him in a heartbeat.
He's a good coach. He made a couple questionable calls, and he took responsibility.
Yeah, he took responsibility. If you don't learn your mistake the first time, it becomes a habit. He didn't learn at the Dallas game. Yes, the refs cost. Yes, the refs were stupid. But 2 times back-to-back, you're going to go for it, thinking the refs are going to come in your favor again 2 times in a row, you're playing stupid. You cost your team then. You didn't learn your lesson there. Then you go to the NFC chip game. You don't cost your team the game. Come on. Those 2 field goals would have won them the game easily.
Next.
Not easily.
No, but it would have you change the momentum when you do that. When you give
Yeah.
McCaffrey the ball back.
I don't think it would have given them easily, but either way.
All right, guys. Now let's talk about the Ravens and Chiefs game. Like I said, Lamar, you're a choke. You always choke and play games. You choked again, buddy. Kansas City.
I actually have to agree with you.
Lamar, you're the choke. Brooks, my brother, if you're watching this, sorry, buddy. I told you so.
He's definitely a choke artist. I agree with that big time. And I think we said it. I think me, my brother, and David may have said it a couple weeks ago. We just did. I don't think that Lamar's got the goods. I just don't think so. I mean, you got all those playmakers.
You know what though, Tone, not to cut you off, a lot of stupid shit went happen in that game though. You know what I mean? Like
One touchdown.
Like hold on though. Besides that one touchdown, but Flowers, for instance, come on, dude, you're losing. You're losing, and you're getting up and you're taunting to that one guy. Dude, you were on the 4-yard line. You could have punched it in there. Instead, now you're at the 16. Granted, they still scored. I get it.
They didn't score.
No, they did. That's when Flowers fumbled.
Oh yeah, that's right. He fumbled on the goal line. Now, see, that's what I'm saying. You gave your team that stupid. All right, when you could have ran it in twice. Lamar probably would have ran it in himself. Come on, man. You got to be smarter than that. This isn't a game that doesn't mean anything, dude. This is a game to get you this goal. A lot of people were playing very stupid on the Baltimore Ravens. All right. And Lamar Jackson, yeah, he was playing stupid. But you know what? At the end of the day, Kansas City's defense, their defensive backs, man, they were all over those wide receivers. I mean, a couple times.
There's a couple flags missing. A couple plays when they should have thrown those flags.
At the end of the game, there was that one flag that I think should have been called in the end zone. Kansas City got away with it, but you know what, man? The fix is in, bro.
I think the score was too far gone at that point anyway.
It wasn't that bad. The score wasn't that far gone. I mean, they lost, but they didn't lose by they didn't lose by 20.
David, you're muted.
1 or 50
David.
doesn't make a difference. Well, Mir, you keep coming in and out, you dumb little bastard.
Really? Can you hear me?
Maybe it's your headphones because they're smacking against your cheeks.
Can you hear me?
Can't hear you now.
What's the language, fellas? Please, what?
Who's a terrible head coach.
Yep. But he's I'll take him as a defensive coordinator.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
All day long, Spags. Absolutely.
And the second thing is, I don't know if you guys remember the interception that Lamar threw in the end zone when a guy was not triple covered, quadruple covered. It all goes back to him reading defenses. He still has a hard time reading defenses. What he does is the reason how he becomes so successful, as you guys know, when you scramble, defenses break down and he throws the ball.
Now see why they go away from the run game. They didn't run the ball.
Which brings me to my next point. Why would you want to leave the game in Lamar's hands when you didn't even attempt to run the ball?
Yeah.
You're putting so much pressure on him. He's never been in the AFC Championship game before. You're putting so much pressure on him by having him. We know he doesn't pass that much. You got to run the ball, do run option, do something, catch the defense off balance, man. They were reading it. They knew they're going to throw the ball every time.
So apparently during halftime, which who knows if it's true, Odell Beckham told him not to listen to the coaches and run the ball.
He would have been 100% correct.
Even though Odell didn't get the ball at all.
Hey, his prop bet hit.
But like I said, Lamar, and I'm not surprised, buddy. Not saying nothing against you, great quarterback. It's just that I know it happens to you in those big games where your team needs you.
But the thing is with Lamar, he's still growing. He's
100%. He still got, but
you can't put him in the same realm as Mahomes and everybody else. He's still right below it. You can't put him there. You cannot ask him to go out and win the game, especially against the Mahomes.
Yeah, no, he's not in the upper echelon yet. No,
he's getting there 100%. Look at the year he had this year. He did an amazing year. Props to Lamar this year.
He 100% put up MVP numbers.
He what?
He put up MVP numbers this year.
Oh, he'll get it. But
I'm going
100%.
Purdy.
No, I mean, can you give it to him based on that performance?
Hell, I'm going to give it Purdy. Purdy
I'm
picked
giving it to Lamar based on
Purdy got his team
it's
out of
numbers.
24-point hole. Purdy got his team out of 24-point hole.
All right, but
Purdy's going to get it.
Hold on, though. You guys do know this isn't a playoff MVP. This is a season.
No,
And-
I understand that,
I
but I
when
still
your
got to
team
look at it.
needs
And go,
Ravens
limited
man,
finished
moments,
number-
they should count.
one touchdown in the championship game, and
It doesn't matter.
Playoffs doesn't matter. The ballots are done before.
And that's probably the stupidest thing ever. That's probably the stupidest thing ever.
Okay, so you wouldn't give it to somebody. All right, let's say a quarterback threw for 6,000 yards, let's just say, and he threw for 70 touchdowns and like 5 interceptions, but his team didn't make the playoffs. You're not going to give it to him?
No, because where playoffs is where it matters. Playoffs is where those performances.
Yes, but you're getting a season MVP. It's not a playoff MVP because in the Super Bowl you have an MVP. So it's a season MVP. It's 18 games.
Whatever. I'm done because Amir just doesn't understand. So let's move on.
I get that a lot. Don't worry, buddy. All right, man. There were a lot of head coaching hiring. A lot of head coaches got jobs. All right, John Paul. I'm gonna go with you first. Which you think? Which hire you thought was the worst hire? That happened.
Which hire do I think was the worst hire?
Yeah, it was not a good fit hire.
Honestly, I think Washington's. But I mean,
he should have went to Seattle.
Yeah, honestly, but you know what too? See, I don't like Dan Quinn in Seattle either.
Well, it's funny you say Washington. Bieniemy was let go today.
Yeah.
Well, he would.
A lot of people spitting on the guy's name, and I feel bad for the guy. I don't think.
Listen, he's going to wind up going if he doesn't go back to Kansas City, which he might. If Andy Reid stays there, he's going to wind up getting picked up by somebody. He's a great offensive coordinator.
Seattle should pick him up. Seattle definitely should pick him up. Make that call.
Picking him up? Who for what? For Vagina Smith to throw the ball? Stop it.
You're an idiot. I hate you, bro. I hate this guy. Something's wrong with him mentally. But I definitely think that would not be a bad idea. Definitely not. All right, David, who do you think was the worst hire?
The Seattle coach, McDonald. He doesn't have much experience in the NFL. I don't think it's a bad hire. I just think he's really young and raw still. But they're gonna put, like we did with Antonio Pierce, they're gonna put a bunch of senior coaches behind him, and he'll lead to the promised land. The problem is there's a lot of first-time head coaches. So Dan Quinn already had his time, so we already know. That's why I think might be Dan Quinn. But some of these guys are young, man.
Yeah, like Seattle went from having the oldest head coach to the youngest head coach in the league now.
Yeah, I think he's going to be good. I just don't know how long it's going to take because in order to be a good head coach, honestly, half of it's coaching, but half it's your roster.
Yeah.
Like, dude, Washington doesn't have a good roster. So, like, I think, honestly, it might be Quinn, but McDonald's is so raw and young.
I mean, Dan Quinn might be able to fix that team up a little bit. Defensive-wise, he might be able to help them out.
Defense isn't the problem. It's the offense.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Well, dude, they have 4 first-round draft picks at fucking – in the defensive line.
Language, fellas. Language. Jeez, man. Profanity is profanity. Bad. Sorry, viewers, I do not encourage these guys. They need to be. I will discuss termination with them later.
We're Italian. We can't help it.
All right, Tony, what do you think, buddy? What do you think?
I don't understand. He's not allowed to say fuck, but you just called me mentally challenged.
No, I did not say that before you put some words in my mouth. All right, Tony, go back to you, buddy. Next.
I'm not gonna say bad coaching pick. I want to say stupid pick. Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
I mean, Belichick was there. He wanted to go there. And you guys went elsewhere.
I called it.
They didn't want him. They're not blank, but the other guys on that board didn't want Belichick.
The people in the front office didn't want him.
Yeah, they didn't want Belichick.
Was he asking for too much money? I mean, you have a chance for one of the greatest coaches to ever, do in the game. Was it the money?
He wants total control, and they didn't want to
give it to him. Give it to him.
And apparently, I just heard today that the Falcons might trade up to get Drake May.
But I would have gave him total control. My worst, I'm gonna go worst one. I was probably the Washington Commanders. I would have given Eric Bethany that job. Eric Bethany, I would definitely give it to him.
Who?
Be enemy.
Eric Bieniemy. Thank you so much.
Who
Eric
the hell's Bethany?
Eric Bieniemy, whatever that guy's name is. Eric should have got that job 100%. And I see a lot of fans saying that, oh, the Washington players didn't like him. The players didn't like him because he was too strict. And when that rumors came out during the season about him too strict, Kansas City guys, Tyreek Hill, and all the former players for him stood up for him and said, yo, that's what won us where we got to the playoffs and the Super Bowl. And though that strictness is what gets you there. So Eric Bieniemy, I definitely think he deserved that job, but hey, hopefully something better comes up for you. All right, guys, now Super Bowl time. The Super Bowl is here. And my viewers out there, the Taylor Swift proposal is at 119 right now in Vegas, I believe. 119. That's the only thing I know. All right, Tony, what do you think is each team's weakness going to the Super Bowl?
So for Kansas City, right now, I think their biggest weakness is Patrick Mahomes' family. I mean, that's probably his biggest weakness right now, between the dumbass of his brother, the dumbass of his father, getting the DWI.
Language.
Dumbass isn't a bad word.
Yes, it is.
They say it on TV all the time.
No, it's not. Dumbass is not a bad word.
Okay, can you relax? Sheesh, guys, you guys don't talk.
Yeah, see, we can say jerk
you
off
get-
shit. It
You know,
works.
I mean, if Patrick Mahomes was my son and the Super Bowl was this week coming up, I'm staying away from the alcohol and the nightlife and doing anything stupid. The spotlight should be on my son, not on me. And his family loves doing it to him, even though I don't like Patrick Mahomes. But I think that's the biggest weakness for KC right now is what's going on with Patrick Mahomes' family. San Fran. I mean, given the extra week, Debo's going to be healthier. An extra week off for the running back is also nice. I'm not sure if I see too much weakness, except for, did Detroit expose a little bit of that defense?
Their run defense, the San Francisco's run defense is sketchy.
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing I can think of. Otherwise, that's it.
Okay, John Paul, I'm gonna go with you next, buddy.
For Kansas City, would have to be their lack of wide receivers. Wide receivers are gonna hurt them in this game. Not having the wideouts to do it, but I think Pacheco and the other kid can probably run pretty well on the 49ers. And again, the 49ers has to be their run defense. Listen, man, Detroit ran all over them. Montgomery had a field day with them guys. You know what I mean? So that's just between me. I that's what I think.
Okay. David, what team's weaknesses?
Kansas City offensive line. Their offensive line did not play extremely well all the playoffs, and they have a lot of injuries. So I would say their offensive line for the 49ers, I would say it's their D-backs. Their D-backs have been okay this year, has been great. Their pass defense, I know John Paul's talking about their run defense. Their pass defense hasn't been great either. And especially with the pass rushers they have and stuff, if they don't get pressured, Detroit was throwing all over them if they didn't get pressured.
Okay. For me, Kansas City is gonna be those wide receivers. Hopefully, they can catch the balls in those big plays because they do have a tendency. I know you were gonna laugh. I hate you, bro. I know you're gonna laugh. They have a tendency to drop those catches in those big moments, and that's a big thing that they got to clean up. And for the Niners, I definitely think it's the secondary. The Lions ran all over them. The Packers young team, they were coming to play and they were shutting them down. So I definitely think those are their weaknesses. Now, John Paul, since you were laughing, what do you think is Kansas City's biggest strength and 49ers' biggest strength going into Super Bowl?
49ers' biggest strength is their offense, their entire offense. I mean, See, I'm not sold on Brock Purdy either. I just think he's got the team around him to do it. They have amazing wide receivers. They have a great running back, and I think that they have the most complete team in the NFL. The Kansas City Chiefs, their biggest strength is which Patrick Mahomes they're going to find. If they have the greatness of Patrick Mahomes, then it's going to be an amazing game to watch. If they don't, then, I mean, San Francisco, sorry to bring it up, but you also blew a 25-point lead in a Super Bowl against them before. So we'll see how this works.
Okay. David, what do you think, buddy?
Chiefs' biggest strength, Patrick Mahomes and Chris Jones. Chris Jones could easily affect the game because if McCaffrey can't run, it's going to be on Brock Purdy. We're going to see how good of an MVP he is. So Chris Jones and Patrick Mahomes will control on the KC side. And for the 49ers, the biggest strength, honestly, McCaffrey. What are you going to do with McCaffrey? Are you going to give him the ball? You're going to make him be a distraction so other people get the ball? What are you going to do with him? And another thing is George Kittle. Are you going to make George Kittle stretch the middle of the field so your receivers can get open too? Those are my biggest strengths.
Okay. Tony, what do you think the biggest strengths are for the 49ers and the Chiefs, buddy?
So for Kansas City, I think it's gonna kind of go to how well Mahomes and Kelsey are gonna connect throughout the game. I think that's his biggest weapon. And I think the team goes that way. So however good they do is how well Kansas City will do. Same is said on the other side. Not with the tight end and the quarterback, but McCaffrey. If McCaffrey has a big game, I think San Fran will have a big game. The team goes as McCaffrey goes.
Okay. My thing is for the 49ers is that McCaffrey, that dude's a monster. It's going to be hard to stop him. And especially now that all the wide receivers are going to be healthy, that offense is definitely going to be top tier. And then it's going to be what Mahomes we see. What Mahomes we see, because Mahomes is always iffy. If you know how to challenge him, if you know how to pressure him, he struggles in the pressure. So it all depends on what Mahomes we see. All right, guys.
As long as they're catching them balls, right?
I really dislike you both so much. I can't wait to see it's over. All right, guys, it's that time of night. It's that time of the night. Actually, no, before we go there, who's your Coach of the Year award? Who you give it to? DeMarco Ryan or Dan Campbell?
Why the hell do we have to choose those two?
Because those two are the only ones. What other candidates you have up there, buddy? What other candidates you have up there? Well, please tell me what other candidate impressed us this year. Please tell me. Please acknowledge me. Whatever the word is.
Houston's Texans coach had a great year this year.
That's not DeMarco Ryan. That's the.
No, I'm thinking in my head, who else?
Okay.
As much as you might hate the guy, I think Campbell had a great fucking year too, man.
Okay.
I think he had a great year, and if I had to put the two together, I'd probably go Dan Campbell.
Based on success-wise, I gotta go with Dan Campbell. But
I think Matt LaFleur had a decent end of the season too. I mean, he got his team into the playoffs.
You got to go with Campbell. Last time the Lions won that division was so long ago.
So
Yeah,
I think Tony was like 1 year old, I think, right? Tony, you saw that?
What?
How old were you? You were alive when the last time they won the divisions?
I don't. What year was it?
I think like 30 years ago.
Yeah, I was
It
around.
was 30 years ago. I was almost 10 years old.
All right, back to your point. Who are you going with, David?
I just said it. Dan Campbell.
All right. You say who you got? You pick for David? Was it Tony or Dumpo? Kind of tired right now.
I like Dan Campbell, and if I mean it's going to be a close race between him and DeMeco Ryans. I think they both deserve it. Either one of them to get it, they both deserve it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad if either one of them got it.
So we all going with Campbell Soup?
Yep. Unfortunately. All right, guys. That time of year, Super Bowl picks. Tony, who won last week for the NFC and AFC games? Was it clean? It was a tie?
So we'll go over those games, and then we'll go with the final and the playoffs.
Okay.
So last week, Tiny Tim, you actually won. You went 2-0 last week. David and myself went 1-1, and John Paul and Paulie both went 0-2. For the championship weekend. Now, when it comes to the playoffs, myself and Umir were first place with 8 wins through the playoffs. David 6, John Paul and Paulie 5. Now, for the Super Bowl pick, not only do I want you to give me your pick
And the MVP.
Shut up. No, I don't care about the MVP. Pick and total points combined.
Wow.
So I'm going to start off. I'm going to stay with what I stayed with for the past 8 weeks from what I've said. I'm going KC, 49 points.
See, but I don't want Kansas City to fucking win.
I do.
Just because I said it doesn't mean they're going to win.
Kansas City, but Kansas City 50.
Really, you bastard?
All right, I'll go 52.
I actually think it's gonna
No,
be a
I'll
lot.
keep you at 50. I'll
No,
keep you
give
at
me
50.
52.
No, give him 52. Give him 52.
52. Give me 52. Give me. And this game's gonna be decided by who throws that pick. That's who's gonna end up losing this game.
Yeah, it's gonna be decided on who throws their balls.
All right, gentlemen, you two are left.
Yeah, let's go. We don't got all day here, please.
Listen, man, I chose them at the beginning of the season before we went. I'm gonna take San Francisco. All right, 58 points.
58.
You guys are saying some high scores, man.
It's gonna be a high scoring game.
I'm taking San Fran 45 points.
That game goes over 60. Watch. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
I mean, if it goes over 60, it's going to be a super exciting Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Who y'all
Super
think?
game.
Who y'all think the MVP gonna be? Super Bowl MVP gonna be? I'm gonna go with Travis Kelce, and he's gonna end up opposing to her at that time when he wins the MVP. Travis Kelce. David, who do you think the MVP is gonna be for Super Bowl?
Purdy.
John Paul, who do you think the MVP is gonna be? Stop making that face, bro.
McCaffrey.
Okay, Tony.
Mahomes.
Mahomes.
Yeah, Mahomes. Don't give it to Mahomes. They always give it to the QB.
No, they didn't give the QB a couple Super Bowls.
I didn't say
Alright.
always.
All right, guys.
Usually.
And did you guys know that there's a Super Bowl trend with the jerseys? 3 and 13 for
With the
color
red.
with color jerseys versus the white.
I'm sorry, what?
So
There's a statistic. Teams that wear the dark colored jersey or something like that, they're 3 and 13 in the Super Bowl. And the Chiefs are wearing it this year.
and they won in the last Super Bowl one. They won too.
I thought it
Hold
went
on.
by.
Didn't the Giants wear white in both Super Bowls?
Yeah, that's what the
No,
trend
they
is.
didn't.
The Seahawks were white. The Patriots were
Yeah, I
white.
believe.
The Patriots were white against the Falcons. The Broncos were white against the what's the name of the Panthers. Then the Super Bowl after that, who was that? Super Bowl after that, the Eagles were the only one.
So you mean to tell me 2 of 3 were the Giants?
No. We're saying the teams that wore the white jerseys won Super Bowl. 3 and 11 mean the color jersey. 3 is the color jersey, right? 11 is the white color jersey.
My apologies.
11 is the white color jerseys.
The Giants, their second Super Bowl, they wore blue jerseys.
No, they were
I
white.
can't remember.
They were white. Patriots
They
were blue.
They wore blue.
Whatever. That's just
No, Patriots were blue.
The Patriots wore white.
Patriots were blue. The second Super Bowl.
The Patriots wore blue. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, go eat up fat. Go look at your
What-
football stats.
What
What
about
that-
which one called? What about that stat that came out about that referee where he was the away teams were losing, on every single game
Yeah,
he
I
ref?
sent it to him. Yeah, the way team.
Those were some crazy numbers.
So that's fine. Let's see. Hopefully, let's see what happens in the Super Bowl. All right, guys. Hope you guys all enjoyed the Super Bowl. Be safe. If we do drink and drive, make sure you get an Uber. Please do not be driving on the streets.
But you can't drink and drive and grab an Uber. It just doesn't work that way. Don't drink and
Take an Uber.
drive, grab
Take
an
an
Uber.
Uber. I thank you so much, buddy. I thank you so